Hey guys, time for a video update. Not much going on. This is going to be a bearish video, and I'm just going to jump right into it. So we'll be discussing Bitcoin, ETH, Sol. I'll take a look at BNB, and I asked for two recommendations from one of my servers. They came up with Ondo and ORDI, so we'll be covering that as well. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, and to be honest, this, in my opinion, goes a lot lower. Historically, September is a bearish month. Not necessarily does it mean it's going to happen, but let's take a look at this from a clean chart really quickly. Let's bring up. All right. Okay. So everybody was getting gung-ho about being bullish, but clearly, like, this was a major resistance to flip, 64 to 65K. And I had mentioned in multiple servers that, I'm not bullish until this level is flipped to support, but also still not bullish because, I want range highs. Like, here is range highs. I've spoken about this multiple times. I need this level to be, broken out from, okay? All we did was just put in another lower high. Okay, here's double top, here's another lower high, and then here's another lower high. So, talking about being range bound, sure, this is range bound, but there is your range low. Okay, range low, range high, and then you have your mid range in between. This is bearish, and if we take a look at market structure, typically when we put in a lower high, you are followed by a lower low, right? So there is your higher high, there is your higher low. We put in a lower low, lower high here. Then we put in a lower low, okay? Or you can say it's this one, lower high, double lower high. Here's a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Theoretically, we should go down to make another lower low, right? Now, let's talk about levels. If we have our range here, which we went back to close to mid-range, came back, closed below, turned the range lows into resistance. Here is our next level. Here are our most crucial levels, okay? If this 53 to 50K level is lost, you are seeing, and I've spoken about this before, much more in details in the servers and the groups that I'm in, but if this level is lost, you are looking at the weekly level of 40 to 44K. Okay, so this here. Okay, demand zone that hasn't been tested, there's going to be a lot of bids there. This one, liquidity has been grabbed, but it still is, however, support. We had the breakout, we retested as support, so that is still valid. So 53 to 50K is still valid, right? Now, we are getting ready for the final leg up in this market. And I've spoken about this before, again, in previous videos, but also more heavily in Discords. Most of the alts are topped, all right? A lot of people do not want to admit it. Your, paid server owners, your influencers, right? Like, I'm going to tell you it as the truth. A lot of coins are already topped. Some will see highs, but for example, I bring this over and over again. Link will not see its all-time highs of $50. All right, it's not going to happen. You might get lucky with seeing its local highs from this market or from the last leg up that we had in January through March, but it's not going to see all-time highs. Sol, maybe. ETH has been very weak, but coins, like Atom are not going to see highs. Coins like AVAX might not see highs. Big Time for sure won't see highs. So with these small cap coins, we'll put in 2 to 3x, but they're not going to go back to their all-time highs. So you have to remove that mindset of, hey, I'm holding a coin that's down like, 30 to 40% from the last leg, right? And I don't see it going from all-time highs. Is it better for you to sell on a pump and reposition into something else that actually has a good chart, not just because something or someone told you on Twitter or YouTube to buy, right? So keep that in the back of your head. You have to make your own decisions. I still think that the market has one last leg. I think Q1, beginning of Q2 is, the end of this. So after the rate cuts in September, I think we're getting that one last leg up into the market, and then we're going into possibly a recession or a bear market from there. I won't be here at that point; it doesn't really matter. But um, just be aware of that. Okay, so pick coins and position yourself in coins that charts look good and not just based on fundamentals. Fundamentals are bullshit. All right, you're in this market to make money. You're not in this market for the fucking technology. So going back to here, right? Theoretically, we should be putting in another lower low. Now, the other lower low, if again, always take a look at line charts, all right? Lower low comes around 54K-ish, okay? Now, if I were to go back to this chart here, oops, I'm trying to find it, okay? If I were to go back to this chart here, okay? We see, and I've closed out my Bitcoin position, we see that we have a clear downtrend. All right. The next trend line touch comes around this 54K area to 53K area. Now we are on support here. So it doesn't make sense. Here's a cleaner view. It doesn't make sense, like our daily support, right? If we close below, then we have broken it. You're going to wait until the retest to happen to look for shorts, right? But it's a very risky place to short. So looking at this on the 4 to 8 hours, okay, there is no reason to be, playing this nonsense here, right? Yes, we can go up, but you're mostly looking for, like, if you're scalping, then sure, but it doesn't make sense to get this type of move, right? Like, where are you going to place your stops? So what I think and what I'm looking at for scalps is looking at this order block. All right. And again, these are going to be scalp type of plays. Let me actually go to a perp chart here. Okay. So if you're looking for scalps, here is one. If I give a play, it'll be in the Discord. These are all your decisions on whether or not to take them. Okay. Now, I'd be careful here because, if we're talking about market structure, theoretically we go and make another low, right? You can play this same setup as well. Now, stop loss placement is going to be hard because placing it below the wick, right, a capitulation wick, is the risk is way too high. So if you enter in low or small around the demand zone here, or actually the support line, okay, don't DCA until you see strength. Once you see strength, you can DCA, because we can easily go and take out these lows here, right? Price can come back down, take out those lows, and then reverse back up. So limit orders here are going to be risky. You want to see strength. So you want to see some type of sweep, whether it's these lows here or this low here. You want to see some type of sweep before positioning yourself for higher, but you also want to see strength happen. Like if you see a candle like this with a giant wick, whenever we have giant wicks, we do have some type of reversal. So look for those before blindly jumping into longs. Or you see some consolidation form somewhere, have some type of base form, a rounded bottom, and then you can long. You see how we have like rounded tops and rounded bottoms? Rounded bottoms usually are reversal patterns, where rounded tops are usually reversal patterns to the downside. So here's a scalp play that you can take. Basically, 56K, right? Stops around 54, and you're looking for a move back to 60. All right. Now this should be a scalp play. You should go in with a very low risk and position size, because this can easily capitulate back down to here. And then you're looking for strength in this area here. Setting limits is going to be very, very risky. Again, play strength and confirmation when we get down there. Now, this is a downtrend. So, shorts are the setups that I'm personally looking for. And, if I'm looking for shorts, most likely my swing short will come anywhere around 68K. But if we get to this area here, 61.5 to like 62K, 63K, I'll be looking to short. Something like that, and then back down to lower levels. Again, September is generally a bearish month. It doesn't mean we're going to go down, but if you do go down and you like to add to your spot bags, this is your opportunity for hopefully that last leg up in the markets. Okay, now everyone's going to come out here and say, oh, this is because of Kamala, this is because of Trump. No, don't listen to those fucking morons. They have nothing to do with the markets. This is just the natural, markets itself cleansing late longs and late shorters, or early longs and early shorters. It's just the natural selection of markets, all right? And also, stock markets look disgusting as well, which I do think that we are in that last leg, because come Q1, Q2, if we do head into recessions, you want to be cash heavy. You don't want to be over invested in a bunch of coins. So that is my short trigger for Bitcoin. Okay, this will be the scalp, and this will be a confirmation upon strength whether to long. Because if this level is lost and we close below it on the daily, then you're going to set yourself up for 44 to 40K. All right, so take it level by level, one at a time, and go from there. Okay, let's take a look at ETH. So my students, hopefully you caught this, right? We had major support here. We had a close below. Once we closed below, that support turned into an SR point, and look what happened, right? This took a while for it to happen at the beginning of August, and we just recently hit it last week. Rejected right from the SR point and got a 15% move down. Now, this was a play that I personally took. I did not share, but you see the importance of SR points and placing limits there and DCAing higher. Okay. Now, ETH, a little bit trickier. It's much weaker compared to what it's supposed to be, right? Everyone was bullish when we had the ETF news here. Look what happened. For ETH, okay, this is a very crucial level to hold, right? So, uptrend. Okay, we can come back down here, but if we lose this uptrend, it's gonna get pretty bloody, right? Again, this has lost structure as well. We were making higher highs and higher lows. Then we made a lower high, right? Another lower high, lower low. I will be shorting the shit out of this if we get it again. It's going to take some time to play out. These are not my final targets. I expect you guys to figure out your support and resistance, or where to take profits based on supports. But this is the setup that I will take. Okay. Again, same exact setup that we just saw on the daily, right? Support, support, support. Lost it, rejected from it. Here's the 3-day chart. Okay. Support, 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 support. Lost it, closed below. Another SR point. If we get there, that's where I will go and start, shorting. Stop loss above resistance, somewhere there, and looking for a move down. This will hopefully be another lower high, right? We put in a lower low here, go back up there, make another lower high, and then go from there. Okay. Here's the trend line. So we'll take a look. Okay, now historically, this is a level to buy, right? So if we get anywhere to 2200-ish, down to like 21, this is where you buy, right? Because every single time we've come to that point, we've bounced. So that is a buy level. Now I do have lower buys. This was the ETH chart that I shared in okay. This was the ETH chart. Now, right, we have whatever you want to look at as bear flag, okay, descending wedge, whatever. We broke down targets of this right around 1700, right? That's why my buy zone ends around there. This is just technical targets, doesn't mean it's going to happen. But you can see that this is a buy zone that I'm planning to buy. So 23.25 down to 19.20-ish is where I plan to buy, and hopefully this level holds, because if it doesn't, we are fucked. All right? Now, Sol, I covered this 2 videos ago. It was, when I was doing a market update, I mentioned that I was going to heavily short Sol from 160 to 184. And my targets still remain the same. I'm not saying we're going to 50, but sub 100 is my target for Sol. I did not share this in the Discords because I told most of you guys are degens, and you guys won't be able to handle it. But clear resistance. I actually shorted here. I'm still short. I round tripped my profits, but I'm still short. And I'm looking for these lows to be swept. Okay, that's my first TP. Well, my second TP already took profits. And then sub 100, basically 82, 88 is my final TP. And I'll leave runners for sub 50 if we get it, but I'm looking for a move to 100, complacency bounce. Okay, probably like that, and then back down. Stops are already break even. I am risk free on this, but that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Now, if we take a look at Sol on a different clean chart, okay, 1 sec. So this was a play that I gave in the Discord that I'd cancel. We had a demand zone / order block here. We're bouncing from it. I took it off because I was unsure of where the market was going to go. Okay. And Sol did double top. So I think any move into this area here, the supply zone, probably tighter, is a short. Okay. So 143 to 149-ish. I have a wider stop. Use low position size. So I'm looking for something like, right, something like that. I'm not saying we're going to get it, but if we do, we have a supply zone, we have an SR point, okay, and I'd be looking to short once we get that. I will continue shorting here if we get it. So like 160 to 162, I will continue shorting. It proves to be very strong resistance. I will cut it if we have, acceptance above here and flip to support. You notice we have rejections, right? Support, close below, became an SR, rejected, rejected, rejected. So if we have a daily closure above and we turn into support on a 4-hour, I will go ahead and cut it. But if we do get this, this will also be a short that I will take. Again, stops around there. Okay. Now, if you want cheeky longs, this would be the area to long. I'm not going to, but this would be the area. The risk to reward is not great here, so just be mindful of that. The other place to long, and again, I canceled this in the Discords, but here. Okay, we have an order block. I'm gonna have a tighter stop. Let's go to a lower time frame to find our stop. Probably around 113. Yeah, that's good. This would most likely be a swing play. Now, again, be weary of a capitulation wick, all right? Because we can easily go and sweep all these lows. So if you're taking these trades, the longs at least, just go in with low position sizing. Okay, so entry would be around 122.5-ish, DCA around 119.8. Again, this would be more of a swing play, and then your final DC comes at the bottom around 115.6. Okay, so that would be your setup. At the end, your average entry should be here if they all fill. If they don't all fill, then it's going to be like somewhere around there. Right, but if they all fill, it's like that, so it lowers your risk. And there you go. Okay, so that's going to be Sol. So about 4 separate plays. This one would be a market long currently, but it's going to be risky, so just be mindful of that. BNB. Okay, so a lot of these coins I had, decent profits in. I neglected to take. All right, I gave this in the Discord around 569. Okay, we had about a 6% move. Okay, did not take it. Now, BNB has a catalyst coming, right? You have CZ getting released from prison in September. So if we get into this demand zone here, or sorry, this order block, that is going to be a buy interest for me. So leverage plays, most likely something like this. Now again, be mindful of this capitulation wick. We could have it again. We put in another lower high, but something like this makes sense. Right? It's also going to be range lows. So, play range lows and range highs until broken. This one's just a very unfortunate one with this. So just be careful with that. But I'm looking to Play the range. TP, TP, and final TP. Okay, so this will be a swing play. Not really looking to short BNB. I know it's weak, but you know this coin has not been great to me when I short it. So on a lower time frame, we are at range lows here. Well, we bounced right from it. Here is range highs. Okay. So if you're playing a range, okay, that is your setup. Stop loss right there. Okay. Now shorting mid-range from range lows is fine, and longing from range highs at mid-range is fine. Very, very tight stops. Okay. Stop loss above resistance. Okay. So something like that for a lower time frame trade on BNB. Okay. Now the two recommendations are Ondo from Peeps. Let's take a look at Ondo. Let's take a look. I mean, Ondo again gave the entry at 69 cents, ran to fucking 80 cents, didn't take profit on me, but we do have DCAs. I'm not going to clean this chart. Let me go to a different chart. These are all given in detail in the servers. All right. Okay. So let's start on a lower time frame here. This does not look great. Lost support, turn into resistance. First bounce probably comes 58 to 52 cents. We have an order block there. Okay. But also, left head, right, or left shoulder, head. There's your head and shoulders. We close below, retested the neckline. Technical targets. Okay, basically negative 8 cents. Obviously, I'm joking. We're not going to get that. Ondo does not look great. Right, so if I'm looking to start into leverage positions, honestly, I'm looking for here. Why here and not the one I gave you? Higher time frame charts are always going to be stronger. We had a dip into this SR point, right? Liquidity is still there. So one of two things can happen here. One, we come back down, as I mentioned with the capitulation wicks. We could easily come and sweep these lows. Okay. Reclaim, that's when you long with your stops below whatever wick that was created. However, this one will be a very tight one. You can play this order block again. Liquidity is still there. And I'd probably take this on spot because leverage is going to be, you know, pretty tough to time here. But enter around 52.522. Okay. Buy all the way down to like 47, 46 cents. And then hopefully we get a move back up into 77 cents. Right? That would provide you with, if everything fills, about a 60% move. Okay? Let's go to a lower time frame and look for shorts here. Okay, we have a supply zone here that hasn't been met with the 50% rule. So if we get back up into here, I most likely look for shorts. Okay. So what's going to happen is most likely we go into there, come back down, maybe put in a little inverse head and shoulders, and then go higher. But at that point, you're taking a scalp move, right? 4 to 5%, pretty good. You're going to take profits and go from there. Okay. If we go back up to these highs here, again, I'll be taking another short. Okay. So there was a clear range here, right? Lows, highs, lows, highs. So if we get back up into these highs here, then we'll play the range again. I will not be longing this until lower, or if we reclaim the support. So basically, let's say price action goes higher, we reclaim, turn into support. I will long with a very tight stop loss. Back to range highs. Now stop loss can't be given here. I need more price action to develop, but that would be your trigger to long. Okay. So that is Ondo. You either have those options, you can watch this video on playback to find it, or you do this 3-day order block. If we get a move down, long there, back into those highs here. Okay, so that's Ondo. The second suggestion from the Discord community is ORDI. Not one coin I trade a lot. 3-day. Now I see no divergences. Okay. So we have resistance on a higher time frame around 42. Okay. This is now, so I mean, we bounced from support, right? Previous highs, bounced again, did not lose it, support. So 25.6 is support, all right? This is our little range. Okay. If we get back into this 34, 35 area, that would be a great area to short. Very tight stops. Okay. It was support, right? We had deviation. So basically we rejected. So back up to there is a great short option. Lower time frame. Too late to long here. If we close as a bullish engulfing candle, it's going to be risky, but you could possibly take a little long. To the supply zone. The R&R is not great, but it's worth a shot. Something like that. Candle needs to close as a bullish engulfing candle. All right, so that means this candle has to be bigger in terms of body than this one. Currently it is. We still have an hour and 50 minutes left. Okay, we are also at resistance. So bullish engulfing, something like that, and higher. Now if you want a tighter stop, go to a lower time frame, and you can move your stops to like 26.2, and your R&R becomes better. Otherwise, maybe we come back down to this order block and you can have a tighter play. Something like that. Okay. Could be a possibly good short here as well. I'm bearish. I've been bearish ever since we lost range lows again. To be honest, the reasons why I'm bearish are given in the Discord, but the main reason is we were unable to flip 65k. We had a harsh rejection from it, right? We mustered the strength to go from 57k in like 2 weeks to 65k, right? 13% move for it to be retraced in just a matter of like 4 or 5 days. Okay, that should tell you a lot. So another short attempt can be taken at like 30.2, stops around 31-ish, and back down to that support. SR point at this point if we break above. All right. On a higher time frame, okay, there you go. All right, it doesn't look bad, but also doesn't look great. I just would rather look for short setups right now on any impulse up than try to long. And if we're going too long, because we're playing against a trend, which is a downtrend, you go in with lighter position sizing. All right. So those are the setups. If you want to watch this video again to take notes, by all means. But that is it from me. I'll catch you guys later.